Zimbabwe's public transport system is just jokes. Replace public transport with literally anything. See, most Zimbabweans, myself included, don't own a car, but you wouldn't have known that considering the fuck ton of traffic that infests Mutare Road every single day from 6 to 9 a.m. because the entirety of Goromon's, Rua, Damapho's, Istivuma, Vukutafara, and Zimri Park share a single 2-lane road to the main business district of the country. That's like 6 towns that share one road. So you'd think it's in the government's best interest to build more or wider roads, or at least introduce an efficient public transport system for the majority of us without cars. So sit down, my dear viewer, get comfy, because we're about to discuss the horrendous public transport system in Zimbabwe. This is a kombi, the main mode of transport for most Zimbabwean citizens without car. Oh, sorry, my bad, wrong picture. This is a kombi. See, kombis aren't owned by the government. They're all run by private entities with a monopoly on Zimbabwe's public transport system, so they can pretty much do whatever they want, including artificially making transport scarce to drive up prices. Going to town with a kombi is Russian roulette on how greedy the drivers are feeling that day. You could go to town for $1, $1.50, maybe $2. Considering people go to work every day, including Sundays for church, you could end up spending $65 to $70 a month on transport alone, which is insanely expensive for a country where most people live on under $5 a day and earn under $200 a month. Some people go to work so that they can afford transport to go to work. Damn. Kombis aren't even a pleasant driving experience either. The average kombi looks like this, smells like shit, and is always driven and conducted by alcoholic junkies that are mean for no reason. Like, tell me why when a conductor is loading a kombi.
50 cents andi mabvuktafara fana andi pinde kombeto zara andi mfono wangu andi
aiwa ndiskwenda
ayipseke mani mfani ufera unadopinda manchikwe vapo wagezere.
Bro, what did I do? On top of that, the roads are what roads? Kombis are usually filled to the teeth with up to 24 people in an 18-person vehicle. I'm not even kidding, they sometimes put 3 people in the very front 2 seats. So yeah, going anywhere in these is a very uncomfortable and often dangerous experience. I've seen kombis in brutal accidents. I've seen people's brains and guts spilled on the road because of the sheer incompetence and recklessness of the drivers. Because kombis aren't street legal, they often have to dodge cops in increasingly dangerous ways. You're actively risking your life going into one of these, but what choice do you have? If you don't have a car, then kombis are pretty much your only option, or these other little cars called mushikashika, which are also pretty common and have the same problems as kombis. This is a major form of public transport where you sit in the trunk of the car. I wish I was making this up, and yet somehow the government's alternatives are even worse. Bruh, this is an official public transport, but fuck, my voice just cracked up. This is an official public transport bus. They're ugly and safe, packed to the brim, and the bus stop itself is... Just take a look for yourself. Okay, what's the government doing about the public transport that its workers rely on every day? Fucking nothing! I mean, in 2023-ish, they introduced a train. One train for the 6 towns I mentioned earlier. It was a bit safer, I guess, but again, it's often overcrowded. It's super slow because it's a coal train. A public transport coal train in 2025? Most people just opted for kombis in the end. But now, for the thing that made me want to make this video, my absolute breaking point. The National Railway of Zimbabwe just introduced a luxury train that costs $60 fucking dollars per trip, a one-way trip. Okay, let's see how they justify that price tag so far. a sofa that can slide around the cabin. How about the kitchen curtains and the dog shit food that they serve? This luxury train is embarrassing. This is beyond ridiculous, and I can't help wonder if this is an IRL shitpost by the government. Who greenlit this? How about fixing the normal transport before scamming us with luxury ones? And people called out this bullshit, but unfortunately to the average Zimbabwean, this might actually be luxury. Like, I've had the privilege of leaving this country. I have the privilege of accessing the internet, and I've seen more efficient public transport systems like South Africa's Gautrain, which costs a fraction of the price, by the way. It might seem standard for some of y'all, but when I traveled abroad, I was awestruck when I saw a bus lane for the first time. Yeah, I had never experienced roads without potholes before. One of the funniest headlines I read was that the Zim government built a new spaghetti road recently called oh my god, this Ovwevwe ass sounding name. And this road became a tourist attraction for locals. People all over the country were swarming this road, going to see one of the few fully functional proper roads in the whole country. That's the saddest shit I've ever seen.
What you see behind me is now a tourist attraction because it's Zimbabwe's first traffic interchange. It's something that is new to a lot of people. So a lot of people are coming here. Those who have cars, even those who don't have cars, are just coming here, walking. Some are parking their cars over there, 800 meters from here, just to have a walking experience here at Trabablas.
Public transport is something every country needs to get right. I know I've glazed Zimbabwe before, but I was young and naive back then, 10 months ago. Zimbabwe's government is known to disappear people who speak out against them, so if I go missing after this, you know who to blame. Anyway, if 1,000 of you guys join my Patreon for just $5, I could buy this used Honda Fit that reduces my chances of dying to a kombi accident. But if 10,000 of you guys join, then I can leave this country entirely and start afresh on the Ireland countryside. So link in the description.
Isn't it amazing when you know every second that you see is 24 connected pieces? Thank you for coming, thank you for staying.